Why do I always do this? Thank you, Simples. I always do this thing where I forget to unmute my mic. Good afternoon, everyone. Day 14 now, as I'm feeling a little bit tired and a little bit, silly today. Have been casting a bit here and there, but through my own Streamlabs on my own channel. It's been a while. I think a week's break so far. Yeah. So Maxman's been casting yesterday and the 2 days last week, right? The PMCO Europe Club Open Scrims, and how is everyone? Simple says, let's go. Yes, let's go. 7 people in here right now, looking at my embarrassing face, trying to mess things up already. But you know what? Let's get back to this. So same old. We have basically every Tuesday and Wednesday. This week is a bit different, right? It may change, but basically 2 days per week till the last week of June, I believe we have this Club Open Scrims. This is for the EU one, so we've got a lot of EU teams, right, from the different European PMCO regions. We've got Turkey, Europe Wildcard, the UK, France, and Germany. So 5 regions at least. Hopefully I haven't missed out on any. So a lot of teams coming into practice, right? Of course, we do miss out some. Not everyone can play at this time of the day because of school and work, etc. But this is a good battleground, is a good training ground because of the tournament rooms as well, right? So 4 games today we are going to have, if my memory serves me correctly, I think we have Miramar. Okay, 4 games. Miramar, Sandhawk, then back-to-back Erangel. So going to have some of those nice juicy action, especially in the back-to-back Erangel. Really like that one because if people are hot dropping, then maybe the next game, right? The game straight after, they can fight each other just like there. And you know what? I love to see that. Adaptation is part of the game. It's very important to see how teams can adapt and outsmart and outplay each other, right? So go through the teams that we have for today. Basically, just reading out what you can see in the description as well, right? So 16 teams. We have Raw Esports UK, Daos Legion, Lakonostra Power, NERA, Take Cover, Conqueror DE, Terra Esports, SNAKEsquad, Conqueror UK, F1 Gaming, Entropiq, 777 Esports, Team Night Target, 8R Bloodbrothers Europe. Maybe I missed. Did they change their name? I don't know this team yet, right? So maybe is a new team or new name, I don't know, but it's best to know them by their plays, which hopefully we'll see quite a bit later on. So warning shots, WS, right? And team 15, last but not least, we have the GhouLs, and I think I've casted all of them except 8R Bloodbrothers Europe. I need to see the team tag as well, so could be a bit of a mouthful saying this one. Yes, and if you like the stream, of course, then click that like button, and of course, if you like the commentary, subscribe and stuff like that. Follow me on my socials. I'm not a huge person on the socials and stuff, I do other work. I'm a medically trained person. I do some medical stuff. I do some real estate. I coach teams, and I think that's where my heart is. Really see you young lads, become better humans, and just to see games as one part of it, and see how you can make both things work and learn things from life that can apply in the game or the other way around. I think these are most important. So maybe, yes, I've got quite a few on my page, so that's my excuse to not use Instagram or whatnot. But we are going to use a little bit of that. Yes, clean feed from a very lovely production from Starladder. So we will see those games, and there's no delay between me and you, but there is an intrinsic delay, right, in the clean feed that I'm given. So we are basically, whatever you see, it's the first time that I see this. No preparation. So if you like casting, if you're an analyst like me, see whether you can see what I see, and we can exchange some ideas as well. And you can see Simples already in the chat being very, very useful. And you know what? We just need to mod this guy, just like blind trust. Not really. Okay, I've seen him done great work and vibe around with Max and Imperium as well, so the other fellow casters, the good friends and whatnot. So this is, I know, I love people who can keep the chat active, help answering questions, and there's a place like that for you. If you are being an organized person, in the scene, there's a lot of maybe manager type of work, there's a lot of media manager and stuff like that. I am, okay, for the 8 people who are watching. I think that includes myself as well. That's a little bit sad. But yeah, I'm looking for some video editors just because I'm extremely busy. I may just cast and whatnot. I need to even work harder as a caster, yeah. But the clips that you can find and putting into video, that would be great, you know. And so all these things are very, very important to me, and I like to reward people for their work. I think is important, especially when I know nothing about it, right? I know whether it looks like to me or not, but that's not enough, right? I need someone who have the skills and all that stuff. So yeah, we're just waiting for this game to start quickly, making sure that my phone won't be a little bitch to bother me. Put it to the side, grab a sip of water, and chill. My hair looks terrible as well. What a brilliant day. But you know what? Let's head over to that game because I believe it's starting now. So we need a small bit of admin as usual. Interact with that screen, right? If you know these things, interact, and we make sure it's of good quality and good audio. Seems like it's on HD, and then we will go to full screen, and this is what we are going to see. Yes, guys. Game 1 ready to go. Sign up, action, baby. I'm gonna slowly bring that music down even more, but before the gunshots come in or whatnot, we should be losing all that music, right? That plane path from El Azhar all the way to El Pozo, off north, I'd say, basically pretty center, a horizontal zone for sure, right to left, east to west. And making spots like Los Leones a little bit harder to reach. I know there are teams who love Chumacera as well. And, you know, I like that spot as well, you know, access to a church or stuff like that. But it all comes down to, right, that Phase 1 circle to dictate that pace. And it will test these teams quite a bit if we have a sudden Phase 1 circle. As you can see, the eastern half of this map is pretty open right now. Entropiq been doing pretty well all along in these club open scrims, heading towards Impala, and Execution UK is not in here, so that's another team, to my knowledge, that likes dropping Impala, right? So we don't see that contested drop now, which is a little bit of a disappointment, but I'm a bad person, you know. Want to see people fight. As you can see, that eastern half is so empty. Look at all those teams staying on that top left quadrant of the map, right? But with that Phase 1 having La Bandita basically in the middle with a good chunk of Los Leones, these teams will have to come in. And this is very, very interesting, right? Like, I need to see a lot of teams maybe going for wide rotation. First to go east, then come south, okay, to right, then down. Or they would go down, then to the right? So a little bit of pictorial visualization, explaining what things are whatnot. But look at El Pozo, Craters View, all those areas, just crazy. If you just think about the number, right, of drops there actually is, so with the big words, right, El Pozo, Crater Fields, and that amount of players landing there is just crazy. That's a lot of congestion. I'm expecting yep, some people to get knocked or die. Danoka from Conqueror, first one knocked and out of the game as well, unfortunately. VSS, it would suck so bad if it's a long range VSS, you know, how that's what it's strong for. You know, I heard in the past that the VSS been nerfed. Why would you nerf that gun? It's amazing. I love to see it. Okay, on Miramar it might be pushing a little bit, but on other maps I think it's brilliant. Like, to stay stealthy or whatnot, I want to see more VSS. And but yeah, like, we don't see it enough. Take cover in here now in Monte Nuevo, right? There's a storyline between Take Cover and Monte Nuevo. There's a team called X Team, right? You probably know them already. They've been playing this scrim for a while now, and every time they drop here, I feel like they just kill Take Cover. And there's like every time it's a 4v4 squad wipe. I want to be proved wrong, but unfortunately X Team is not in today's lobby, right? So 13 teams, 47 players only. I mean, it's a bit sad, right? We don't have the full lobby, and not every team has a full team, but that's the problem this time of the day, right? But you know what? You win some, you lose some, and I think that the best way to approach this is you don't do what you wouldn't do in a more stacked lobby. So you should still be controlled or whatnot. And the second mentality is, if you are a trio, play it well. Like, play it as usual. Treat it like one of your teammates are disconnected or something, or just got killed early. And but you know what? Because things like this can happen, and you still need to keep your composure, right? Like Lakonostra power doing its work. Element is trying to bait some shots or whatnot, but from the hill, we have the support to Overwatch, so completely taken out. So it's like 2v1 trying to breach this compound, but the support is there in place. Ticker is there, Element is there. Element just bought time, right? So Ticker just made it work, and then this is how important it is to have those early vehicles and, you know, relay those information as well as pre-firing. As you can see, Ticker and the enemy, okay, from the goals. Is that Quans? Yes, that is Quans. I need some new eyes, man. And but you know what? When you're holding a spot like this, you just kind of need to expect it. And look at goals buying enough time. It's Overwatch upon Overwatch. They lost one, they send it in, and then the goals had that support. Look at them on that hill right there. I love it. I love this type of fight in the early game. Is what I call the battle of the support. It's about who's out rotating each other, right? You thought you have a pinch, you've got Overwatch, and then you want to pressure them. The other team will come in with a different off angle. How amazing is that, right? So that is Lakonostra power with the opening advantage, but the ghouls responded well. There's a 2-for-1 right there, but we also have the side of 8R, right? The 8R Bloodbrothers is their name, as we have Madone, or Madone buying time, and that is just a very brilliant opening knock, and he would just take the 1v2. I think that's just very, very confident play. That is there anyone to support close by either? No, you're straight up the extended mag on the Tommy gun, then the close range barrel, 1v2 easy. So like that was brilliant. Discipline and patience, right? If he was too scared, which we see, I feel like I'm repeating a lot of these points, but until the scene knows these, I feel like I will just keep going, and feel free to get annoyed, because you will still do it in game. Patience is so key, right? Didn't give away any footsteps until they need to, right? Then when he is using that third person peek, the second it comes out, didn't even lose one bit of HP, man. Like upon that first knock, and then the second one, then with the flush. Now Madone needs to find a way out, right? This is pretty much on edge. I think this is one of the most eastern spots, I believe, on the map, and so it's nice that he's got a good amount of meds, first aids or whatnot, but to plan forward is important. But as we can see, right, this type of circle with so many teams to the top left, right, we may have a lot of clash coming in, and look at that outskirts of El Pozo between the 8R Bloodbrothers. And I'm a little bit confused. I'm confused myself, right? So 4 kills up for that team. So the team that they're against is oh no, I need to polish my brain. So I need to find out what's that. And you can see Entropiq knows. I think this team is just very good in their macro play, right? They know when to claim a spot. Sometimes they play edge a little bit more, but they just know the power positions, how to sweep it. But let's hold that thought, because we'll first have the Bloodbrothers coming in to finish this one. Evil losing quite a few already. The last one, oh, they will get the flush as well. That protection is not there, so that is not what they want, and that is Bobo trying to buy a little bit more time. I don't know for how long, but they can for sure try, and that is definitely another knock, almost a 1. He can maybe make it work, but there's no HP advantage, trying to not move, but there is the pre-fire coming in, and that is the Bloodbrothers taking, I think, the 5th kill, or 6th kill right now, the 5th kill, I believe, with the price of 1 player. So pretty well played by them. I did say I don't know enough about them, but this is a good way to know how they can play this, especially from those individual plays. You know, the running in at the synchronized time, not easy, right? But they made it work, as we can see the congestion, right, is still around that western side, but that circle do make it slightly easier to these players right here. First a southeast shift, then we're moving back a little bit towards the northwest of the previous circle, with La Bendita, you know, Graveyard kind of still around the middle, outskirts of Los Leones, but Picado do have a good spot. I think that bowl to the east of Picado, one of my favorite spots, if people know how to use a split, and then they can make it work. But we'll first have Wanju from NERA to land some brilliant shots with the suppressed Mini 14, and that is, you know, stopping a little bit of the momentum coming from the goals as well. And this is just this is Bloodbrothers, right? I know it's not their name, but they are doing what Bloodbrothers would do. You know, I'm gonna come in and save you, although that may cost his life. And now he might just be a little bit strangled. Two cars parked next to each other, and the ghouls may be a bit stranded. With takeover coming in from the side, we may see a little bit of a third-party situation. But seems like that will be full with his, how should I say, loyalty and brotherly love, you know, rewarded. But I spoke too soon. Now Fumi got taken out, and Fool will just grab all those loot that he can. It's a little bit scary. The pinch is still possible from the side, but we will first see the side of Takeover fighting with another squad. So many of them on this side. F1 coming in from the hilltop. The high ground advantage will also give them free revive. Both teams will reset. I think it's good, right? This type of circle, 12 teams remaining. There's still a lot of potential because there's so much, I'd say, open field, relatively. Right? They need to scout very thoroughly and know how to exactly drive. And that is the type of stuff that we want. You know what we don't want? Overpeaking. And Ultra, man, like we've seen those again and again, I feel like. But I want to see F1 pull the trigger, right? Like, it seems like they know this is a 2-1 split. No, 2-2 split. And that shack is very easy to capitalize on. Drive close enough. You know, drive close enough, throw a molly or something. I mean, since the buff is still been really, really strong. Like, otherwise, they would just try to do this long-range fight. And I wonder what's the go sign, right? That's one of the most important thing. As we can see, the goals going out. You know, I think there was a push coming through that's on the kill feed. You can see falls from the goals. You know, trying to help a friend, right? Didn't work, and so they just went out at 12th place, unfortunately. But we'll first have F1 pulling the trigger, driving in closer with that throwable, right? That double knock on the nade from the side as they strand the last two. If I know that number's advantage, I'm just going to send 2 in with the car, and then just, you know, finish it. You know, 2 to overwatch, but you can see how important it is to keep a 360 view. Scrim Farm might be stabbing them from behind, but that will be Clown actually getting punished for the aggression, but the trade does come through. F1 still need to hold this down. Now the focus is back onto this side. Is this Chinese meta? Because I see a lot of UMPs. What you don't want to do is that. Ignoring the footsteps a little bit, and just get taken out before getting to land some shots. So F1 didn't assess, I'd say, the landscape well enough, and then they didn't know they would just lose this spot. But that's the problem, right? Like, that's what I like to say all the time, is you have to think what it means if you hold this spot. You need to know what it means if you do this now. They've been so noisy, right, for the past 2 minutes, and they have to expect, right, on a ridge that you can only protect yourself from either side. You may get stabbed from the back when you're trying to use the ridge at the compound you're looking at. So, you know, these basics is what we need to see. And Scrim Farm, the team definitely would love to third party this. A team that's known, okay, at least they try, right, for timed aggression, as we see on the Tati coming in with the smoke, soft cover trying to push forward, and that is the rest of them coming here as well, as they do a little bit of a pinch, and that is Scrim Farm finishing the business. Quick maneuver there, but Spectre does lose his life from the side, unfortunately. Danish Duck, the last one standing for F1, will take the 4th kill of the team. Coming into that, of course, 1 placement point range, we need a little bit more, and Scrim Farm needs to do damage control and maybe take out this corn outfit little guy with that scar. And but as you can see, it's just not scared to make some solo plays. And that is a battle of the nade. Who will take out who first? I think that is both missing it at the moment. Scrims are interesting, guys. You know, you think, right? Do we like to practice fighting or whatnot? How serious do we take these? And I think right now, as a coach of a PMCO team, like you find out an issue when it comes to how people use scrims, right? But there's something for sure, which is Danish that with the 1v3, 6 kills, and Scrim found will have to sit down, and that is brilliant solo play, right? Patience with taking out the off angle, moving up, frame that ground again with the relative high ground. Third person peek, disrupt with nades. One nade missed, second one made it count. Take the 1v1. The Tommy gun's still strong. So we're down to 10 teams right now. I quite like doing these, guys. It's like half coaching that I do for the community or whatnot. I do love analyzing the game. Like you just need to like something. Yeah, you need to like the things that you do, and then you don't feel like it's work. If anything, is just I just need to learn how to use my voice better, because yeah, something that I need to look into. And there's the thing, right? If you want to take something seriously, then you need to invest in yourself, right? Whether it's device, I wonder who gets a diary, right? To be a player to track how your training is, or you're just like going around and trying to, I don't know, like find content. You know, it's a very interesting space. I think like this sport as well, people how to use them, how to train, and etc. And we will have very dreadful circle, and I think Warning Shots will have a very good chance to make it to top 5 at least, just because they have priority and already a spot on that high ground. But this is a problem, right? They need to know they have that priority and use that to capitalize, right? Form a new split in relation to the current strength, and then stop some of these teams to rotate in. As you can see, Danish Duck doing the solo player who's been clutching a little bit, finding a spot for himself first. And this is quite unusual as well, right? Because sometimes as a solo player, you may not want to go in early, because you can't hold a full squad coming in to take a center spot. But sometimes if they can find a very cheeky spot, like somewhere in the Los Leones hills, there's so many hills, sometimes with that little bit of how should I say it? The underhill compartment, these dips, right, where you can just hide under, like, then you can use it. But of course the requirement of that is for these teams to actually know spots like that. Map knowledge or whatnot, very important. Now we have NERA needing to hold down to the push from Twix, and as you can see, that's the issue with the preparation coming through, and the third person peak working out for them still, and Twix is spraying in a very interesting way, and NERA can still hold this down, but the player who is far has now been knocked, and I think that is just also a little bit of a sad situation, because that is the weak side awareness not cutting to the chase in that one. So Blanco's the last one standing. NERA hold is strong, although the Overwatch or the far player has been knocked. The two has a wonderful split and will try to choke every side, and NERA finishes them at 9th place. And Takeover having some issues, I feel like, in early games, sometimes like mid-game. I think this may not be the best roster, because I've been watching them in PMCC as well, if my brain is not, bad. And you can see Danish Duck. This is a lot of confidence coming from players, and you can see that almost took out LRF from SNAKEsquad as well. But he will first, it's very good sometimes to start with nades, because it is quite stealthy. Limiting the amount of information that you want to give is very key. Unless people can actually see the projectile coming through, is always better, to use this. Use nades and mollies to open. You can see F1 doesn't want to give up with this solo, and that is SNAKEsquad actually. This is the problem with the late access to these high grounds. So sometimes they might just be far, right? So zone prediction, always part of that game, and they will suffer a little bit. 2 of them knocked, but Entropiq gave them quite a lot of that compliment, being strong in these scrims so far. Backfire need to hold this down, and as you can see, there's a very interesting meta. Should I say meta, but it's just the ecosystem of this game working. TPP. like both looking at each other through the wall, but then will first be Kano to take out a squad. Entropiq falls at 8th place, not what we want to see, but you know, Kano now actually representing Lakonostra power in the scrim, so I don't know, it's still the season that people are trialing or whatnot. Sometimes sister teams, you know, associated teams borrowing players who are at the PMPL caliber. So new zone pretty much centered up, and we can see warning shots having a split still, right? So they got the hard cover from that compound as well as an access to the hill. It's basically a 2-2 split, and I don't disagree with it. You just need to put pressure and make sure that you stop these teams coming up these hills. And it's just such a nightmare because driving around is just crazy around here. As you can see, they keep trying with that buggy, and what can I say about it? I just... You just need a lot of skills when it comes to that, and warning shots may lose their spot here, right? So what they have to do is to stop these, okay, from coming up without losing their life, but I spoke too soon, right? Like Jet lost a teammate, so warning shot lost one, so that gatekeeping was not strong enough. Jet needs to run back because it's time to support the rest of his team to stop the breach coming from teams from a wide rotation. As you can see, some of them knowing how to flank around, all those are important, as we've heard Jet getting out rotated. I mean, I think the thinking is there, but this is not easy because you can't rotate back on foot in an efficient way. It's just so slow. It's so slow. So you just need to limit, right? Not go too aggressive around this, but pretty big circle for 6 teams, and they've all found a spot. Seems like SNAKEsquad at least grab one of those players back up, and Danish Duck continue to disrupt the lobby as a solo. What the hell? 9 kills by this guy. Is it? No, it's they changed the screen. I think was it 9? Was it 9 for Danish Duck as well? I don't know. But this is 8R Bloodbrothers, and they are coming in like a flood. The problem is they may get third person peek, and they just need to find the prime time to breach this compound if they want to. But we know Fallen GG from above can always spray down, and that's Ninhood trying to test the water a little bit. And an interesting roster from the Bloodbrothers, because Ninhood, if I remember correctly, he's with Direction in PMC, one of the PMCC teams. So PMCC, I can talk about it because it's also by Star Ladder, same production team, and that will be the finals this weekend, right? So around the same time, you know what? Yeah, about this time. No, okay, right. Maybe 5:45 CEST, right? From this Friday to Sunday, 3 days of finals, and we get to see some of these teams play. And as you can see, SNAKEsquad comes in from the side and almost takes out one of the Bloodbrothers. Tricky circle, eh? Because like the rotation path, as you can see on the right side of the screen, completely predictable, and that will just be SNAKEsquad getting sprayed down if they follow that through. So this is a time to time the smokes, you know, use the utilities in the right way. As you can see, warning shots letting go of that control in this compound allows Terra Esports to be the new owner of it, I should say. And but it's not easy. Like, I don't like hardcover sometimes because like they need to prepare as if they have to leave, and you just look at the landscape of that, like as teams come closer, and they will be surrounding this compound, making every exit path very predictable. And first, okay, M249, I've heard that there's a little bit of change. It's no longer a drop weapon maybe, and we can see SNAKEsquad needing to come up this very predictable path. Like I mentioned, driving or not, it's just going to be very hard. As we see, this is the 8R Bloodbrothers trying to take the 10th kill, didn't make it through. A noob gets actually blown up. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. They are all pinched behind that, and the nade just finished it. Okay, right. That's why you don't do that. Like, they still got smokes, then they just have to split. But that is a bit of a mistake by SNAKEsquad, as they got taken out at 5th place. Beautiful nade will get the 12th kill. the 12th kill for the Bloodbrothers. You can see Danish Duck. Okay, yes, 7 kills is not so crazy, right? So, but he still did so much work as a solo. But this is a little bit scary now. I think he can be a bit more patient because he can well be within third-person peak area by the side of warning shots. I mean, if they keep someone on that high ground... Okay, this is what I would do, right? I would probably go to up top on the roof if I'm Probo, because I've got Fallen watching me from the top. But of course, it requires them to clear the high ground first, but if they've done that already, Probo should use the third-person peak, but it's also somewhat predictable. So I think they're just trying to stay stealthy first, and you can see TERA still trying to find the first kill of the game. And this is also Danish Duck making it in here. The 1v1 king of this game, maybe, but I spoke too soon. Probo will first hold that down. Bro. Is that his name? Bro, you're so pro. As he takes that 1v1 against the other good player of this game so far. Everyone's got some, you know, Danish Duck shown some guts, right? Courage and confidence in the way that he plays. And so yeah, it's what we love to see in these lobbies as we wait for these 3 teams, right, to fight it out. A 3v3v2 for this Miramar game before we need to head over to Sandhawk. And as you can see, it can be anyone games. And I think, like, if we talk about momentum, if we talk about using rich lines, etc., I think the Bloodbrothers have a chance. And that is a brilliant play. Like, I think at least when it comes to rotation, they get the support, they flush that one out, they will first take that kill and will grab the revive. They use the car to rotate to the side that can come up without getting sprayed down by TERA. Then they claim one side of the compound. Right, so that are the small things that count. Right, so that is so important. I love seeing people do that. And let's see Menace with his 3 bandages to see how far he can go. 3 bandages. I know you've got full level gear, full level 3 gear, and then an AWM, but does it matter at this point? I don't really know. Maybe there's some quick scope action coming through that I won't expect, and that would be very lovely to see. And you know what? I'll wait for it, right? Like, make it that highlight. It's just a scrim, you say, and I've gone, I haven't even shoot 1 bullet and I'm dead, you know, like all these stuff. And Fallen is definitely here to play stealthy. And this is the type of position where you just need to have really good trigger discipline and be very careful with these footsteps as well. Like, if I were this player, I wouldn't even move. Right? I would be so careful of giving away audio cues. And now wait for the perfect time to third party this. But as you can see, the patience is not quite there. And Menace can still go down, but why? Yeah, that is what I don't understand. And so maybe I complimented them too soon. I think you just need to wait for these 2 other teams to fight, and then you steal some knocks or steal some kills along the way. Okay, and use some smokes. I swear to God, he should still have at least 1 smoke or something, right? So, aggressive smokes, smoke a few of them that only focus on third-partying a certain segment, okay, of this compound, or just throw a smoke onto one side of himself and just choose one side to peek. You know, all these things that I can think of that I wait for players to do, right? But right now we'll first have the Bloodbrothers actually having the priority and side of TERA needs to cross in. The aggressive smoke is there to get them free entry, but there's more, right? And that is yep, Fallen has now fallen, and finally that is an important feeling, right? Oh, I picked up the AWP and actually hit a headshot with it, and that's TERA coming in to finish what they started. No, the M249 is stronger. I know is no longer that gun. I know is no longer drop weapon. Still done some work, but we need more to come. The third person P. TERA may be able to take this one, you know, with this third person P, and they will buy time. They will come in and grab every kill point as they can, but this is Ninhood trying to make it work. Last one standing. 13 kills for the Bloodbrothers. he needs to use some utilities, but he's just buying time, and he will first jump down with a little bit of maneuver. Will first take out one, and that's a two, and that is the 3-piece. The beautiful finish by the Bloodbrothers. Ninhud is clutching it right now as they bag themselves 16 kills. The patience. You know, all these small things, man. Okay, look at me. I'm gonna bring this one back, right? Face cam, right? Man. Okay, it starts from, okay, it's all the small things. Yeah, there's one thing that definitely happened there was Ninhud taking the time to go to a window that he can third-person peek with the info available to him. And then we heard Terra missing out on those footsteps. And then, you know, these endgame pressures get to you, and you just gave him, right? You gave Ninhud the time, right, to just spray down hipfire as he like vaulted out of the window and catching. It's not really catching them off guard. I feel like they should know it, and they need to be slightly more prepared, like instead of like a panic cross or something. But there's small things, you know, matter as they have a brilliant one. And then Tello said, "How can I join Scrim?" Okay, I feel like I say this every week. Okay, but so this is the official Scrims by Tencent, okay, and the production team is Starladder. You have to, in 2021, you have to be, in the string split, be a PMCO finalist to be invited to these. You cannot sign up, you cannot register, you cannot pay a $1 billion to play. It doesn't work, okay? Like, you need to, because of prior experience, okay, and showing in PUBG Mobile esports, okay, then you will get invited to play this Scrim. And arguably, this is the bar that they set, and I completely understand. So, you know what? We are going to go on a little bit of a break, and we will see you guys on Sandhawk. But I believe there will be a small bit of, yeah, in 10 minutes we may have the next map. There will be some stats in between, maybe. Sometimes we do have them. If not, we may have some highlight as well. But we're going to go on a little bit of break. I'm going to play some music, and I will see you guys on the other side.